Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning, everybody. Let me go and set up this room real quick and then we can get started. So let me just get everything all set up over here. Today is October 27th, almost the end of the month. I'm gonna be quick with this because YouTube is lagging a little bit. So we have a few minutes until market open, about 9 minutes. So let me just get through this real quick and then we can get started with our analysis. So, zoom link out to you guys here in the premium. It's all good to go. Get this going right here as well. All right, I'm gonna start letting people into the room right now. So give me 1 second and we'll get started with this. All right, well, people are making their way into the room right now. So I'm gonna give a few seconds for people to make their way in. Once they make their way in, we can start analyzing US 30 for this morning. So it's 6:22 right now. We have about 8 minutes to market open. So it's getting close, but we do have quite a bit of time still. Let me check the news real quick to see if there's any news this morning. Refreshing this right now. So we actually have some news this morning. We have some high impact Canada news. And we have crude oil inventories for US at 7:30. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it for today. There's not really that much news, but I mean, there's just, those little things today. There's more news tomorrow though. So tomorrow we have unemployment news, we have pending home sales, natural gas storage, and advanced GDP. Other than that, I think we're good for the rest of the week. I don't really see much here aside from Friday. So tomorrow and Friday, there is like some high impact news, but today, for the most part, there's just crude oil inventories for the most part. So, all right, I'm letting everybody to the room now. Let's go and analyze US 30 real quick. So for the 1 minute over here, we have a bullish bias, and the reason for that is because price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. Looking over at the 3 minute over here, refreshing this is currently bullish as well, and the reason for that is because price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green as well. So pretty much the same as the 1 minute going over to the 10 minute. Lastly, same thing over here as well. So price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. So looking at the technicals, everything here is pretty much bullish. After that, we need to confirm the fundamentals and retail sentiment. So going over here at the fundamentals, it's currently up 43 points right now. We generally want this to be above 100 points for us to be a strong bias for a buy. Also looking over here at retail sentiment, it's currently 76% short. So we're looking for a buy for the most part. When the market opens, we're hoping to get a bullish confirmation here on the fundamentals. Once we have that bullish confirmation, we can start looking for buys for US 30. So good morning, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a great week so far. It's Wednesday. I'm currently up pretty decently for the week. I did have a couple losses. This is probably the week where I had the most losses within 1 week period. And the reason for that is because I'm doing a lot of testing. All the losses are from the variation to the high-low strategy. They're not from the actual high-low strategy. They're just from the variation. So I mean, that's good news. Obviously, someone's going to have to bite the bullet to test these strategies out, and that person's going to be me, which I don't mind because I'm still in profit, like almost 10K per account for this week, and it's only Wednesday. I did have 3 losses, so 3 times 3,000, I have a lot of losses this week, which I don't normally have because I don't usually take risky trades, but I lost about 3,000 times 3 times 2. So I'm down like 18,000, but I'm still up like 20. So I'm up more than I am in losses. And I'll show you guys that later. I'll take a screenshot of my profits for the week. But like I mentioned, Sunday I took a loss, which was an accident because I traded I took the wrong side. I was trading on my phone, which I shouldn't have. On Monday, I took one loss as well, applying the variation to the high-low strategy. And then yesterday, I took the same trade. I'm just trying to figure out where the variation works well and where it doesn't. It seems like the variation is really choppy. I mean, it really depends on when it works, but we'll probably try to go over that at some point. So good morning, everybody. Morning, Miles. Morning, Delmas. Morning, Gary. Morning, Brian. Morning, Fahad. Morning, Abraham. Morning, Matt. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Peter. Morning, Lisa. Morning, everybody. Yeah, so Peter just confirmed that there is restricted news for Ftml's economic calendar, but I believe that's only for the Canadian news. We do have one here we have its medium impact for US crude oil inventories, but I don't think that's affecting the US 30, so I think we should be fine. So other than that, morning, Dorothy. Morning, Lisa. Morning, everybody. So let me just get everything all set up here. I think we're pretty much good to go for the most part. The fundamentals right now are currently, I mean, they're slightly bullish right now, 42 points in the green. We want them to be above 100 points. So we're doing all right now. I'm going to just make sure everything here is good. Here we go. Morning. Morning, Professor. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. So market is opening in about 3 minutes. So when the market does open, we can confirm the fundamental bias, and then we'll go from there. And guys, we had like this one review on Trustpilot where this guy was like saying that I don't make any sense with like my confirmation of the fundamentals, but it works for us, right? So guys, there's no right or wrong way to trade. I analyze the fundamentals one way, and other people probably analyze it the other way. What matters here is that what I do works. So I'm going to keep doing what I want. I know people are just going to keep coming into the room and trolling and hating, saying that what I'm doing doesn't work. Obviously it works because we've been doing this every single day and I do it live. So you can't fake live, right? But I really don't care. I just thought it was really funny and I want to bring it up to you guys because like someone like went on to Trustpilot and they said that I don't know what I'm doing. I just try to sound like I know what I'm doing, but you see people profiting every day. So obviously what we're doing works and what I'm doing, I actually know what I'm doing. So I just thought that was funny. So I mentioned it to you guys because we were talking about it earlier this morning. But I mean, it is what it is. You know, people are always going to hate on other people's strategies, and people I just don't get it are not going to understand what we're doing here. So it is what it is. But we're going to keep doing what we're doing because it works, obviously, and we'll continue on with K2. So morning, Arain. Morning, everybody. Morning, Emmanuel. Morning, Abraham. Other than that, guys, market's opening in about 2 minutes or about 1 minute now, 1 minute and 5 seconds. When the market opens, we'll confirm the fundamentals the way that I confirm them. I don't know what else does, but the way I confirm them actually works. So we'll look for the bias to make sure that it's above 100 points or below, and then from there we will we'll decide which direction to be trading. Morning, Dean. Morning, Adrian. Morning, everybody. All right, market's opening in about 40 seconds. So we got 40 seconds till market open. All right, everyone's making their way into the room right now. Morning, Jay. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, guys, market is opening in 20 seconds. It's opening in 10 seconds. We got market opening in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The market's now open. So let's go over here real quick and look at the fundamentals. Let me go and refresh this. All right, let's go and update. Well, it looks kind of like the other. CNBC is kind of lagging a little bit. Sorry, guys. Let me try to refresh this again. Okay, so it's up 48 points right now. It's not up that much, but I mean, it is up. There's a couple of stocks here that are really red. So, I mean, they're more green here, but there's like Visa, which is -8, Goldman Sachs, which is -2, JP Morgan, which is -1. Looks like all the financial stocks here are negative right now. But it looks like they'll probably be swinging back up at some point. So we're just looking at this right now to confirm whether we want to trade in this direction. Obviously, the fundamentals here aren't biased one way or the other, just kind of down the middle right now. So it says Dow inches higher amid busy earnings, aims for fourth positive day in a row. So with this said, I'm anticipating price to come down a little bit, but I anticipate to swing back up. Reason for that is because retail sentiment is so low. So with retail sentiment that low, I do expect it to swing back up. So I see this drop right here to be temporary. Once it hits, some sort of support area, then I do anticipate it to swing back up. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to draw some areas of rejection. Just so that we can possibly identify when this bounce is likely to happen. All right. All right, guys. So here are the areas of rejection which I've drawn on the 1 minute. So you can see price is still dropping pretty heavily. Looking at the fundamentals over here, fundamentals are currently looking to drop as well. So the fundamentals are now red, and you can see that it's starting to follow this drop here. However, you can see price starting to bounce off this Asia low right here. So you can see this purple line, it says Asia low. If it breaks below there, then it might drop even lower. So let me see if there's any other points that are lower than that. Let me go to 3 minute. I think that might be the lowest point it's the lowest point it's been in a while. So there's no other lows that are there from this current week so far, but you can see this is a huge candle, right? This candle right here has dropped about over 1,000 pips. So I just want to be patient and wait for it. You can see price is now swinging back up, right? So price rejected off the Asia low right there, and also off the New York low. So as you guys can see right here, huge rejection off this point, but then now it's coming right back down. So you guys want to be patient and wait for it. The reason why I'm not hopping into the sell right here is because retail sentiment is currently heavily short. So it's 75% short right now. Looks like a lot of people made a profit and pulled out, whoever was holding on to that short. However, the sentiment is still very high. So what I expect to happen eventually with time is that they're going to, I think they're doing the same thing they've been doing all week. They're trying to load up on these sells right here. Once there's enough people on these sells, then it's going to swing back to the upside. But currently right now, it's just, it's just dancing on this area right here where I drew. So pretty much I drew all these areas of rejection. Price is rejecting off them perfectly, right? So price came down right here, rejected off this point. Price came down right here, rejected off this point, and then now it's down here, rejecting off this point as well. So there's been 3 different rejection points. One right here, one right here, one right here. And I drew these before it even dropped down here. So you guys saw that I already anticipated this to happen. Price was going to come down, reject off this point, came up a little bit, came down, rejected off this point. And if I go in a little closer, you guys can see exactly what I mean by that, right? If I turn everything off here, you guys can see that everything that I drew lined up perfectly. See this candle right here, rejection, this candle right here, rejection, this candle right here, rejection, and this candle right here is starting to climb its way back up. Because retail sentiment is too short right now. They're not going to keep dropping it. If they keep dropping it, the wrong people are going to make money. Not meaning that it's wrong for retail traders to make money, but the real people who are going to make money here are going to be the market makers. So what we're doing is we're waiting for that bounce back up, because that's what the market makers are doing. They're just dumping price down to lure in some more sellers because they want this number to increase to probably 80% or so. Once it's at 80%, they'll have a lot of retail traders down here, and they can spike price all the way back up to make all that money back, right? It's all psychological, guys. Like, a lot of people think that you can predict the market through these technicals and stuff like that, but I don't even look at technicals anymore. The technicals are the last thing that I look at. The first thing I look at is retail sentiment, because I want to make sure I'm not trading where the majority of people are trading. The second thing I look at are the fundamentals, because fundamentals are always leading, right? So looking at the fundamentals over here, it's currently 30 points in the red. It's not that much. This can easily just bounce right back up. Within a few seconds, few minutes. It doesn't necessarily stay down here. Unless this goes like negative 100 and stays down there, then yeah, I'm going to start looking for some sells. However, right now, the futures data is still green. So looking at the futures data right now, it's currently up 49 points. And I'm just going to keep looking for a buy here. I'm definitely not going to be looking for a sell, because I see this as a trap. I see that the market makers are trying to trap retail traders into a sell here, because if you're a new trader, or if you just don't know what you're doing, or you're just brand new, if you see a drop like this, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hop into that drop, right? Because everyone thinks that they see a drop and they just want to bandwagon onto that move. As soon as they enter that drop, price just spikes all the way up and they get stopped out, right? I'm sure that's happened to you guys before, because that's happened to me a lot when I first started trading. I try to follow these movements, but these movements don't really mean anything. A lot of the times these movements are like traps, where they're just setting up to catch people following the hype, and then eventually just swings back up. So I don't recommend anyone chase this move here, because you really don't know when it's going to swing back up. I'll pull back a little bit and I'll see exactly where the next area of rejection is, because you can see all the areas that I drew up here all touched, right? It touched here, touched here, it touched here. I'll check where the next area is right now, and then we can see if price is going to bounce off that point as well. So going back over here, price hasn't been down here for a while, but let's see. So I'm just going to mark this up right here to see where price currently is, so that I know exactly where to draw these points of rejection. All right. So as you guys can see, there's areas right here that have been tested previously. Some more areas down here, and some more right there. All right, so let's go back to current price and I'll show you exactly where we're at right now. So as you guys can see, the same areas that I just drew right now, price has rejected off all these zones right here, right? All these support zones. So there's like more areas here where price can likely bounce off. We're just waiting for this to swing back up, because I don't think this is going to drop. I mean, obviously it's not going to drop forever, but the thing is, if we catch that bottom, it's probably going to come up pretty nice. Looking at the short right here now, short has decreased a lot. So a lot of people who are short, pretty much all the retail traders who were short, because this was 76% when we first opened the market. This right here, it is decreasing. And the reason for that is because a lot of people are pulling out of their positions, right? Because they expected to swing back up. They're expecting the same thing that we are. And as you can see right here, price is starting to swing up after it bounced off this same support area that I just drew right now. So, if I turn the stuff off again, you guys can see that price is bouncing off these areas perfectly, right? Bounce off this area, bounce off this area, bounce off this area. It just keeps coming down and then bouncing off these support areas that we keep drawing, anticipating that swing to the upside. So every time I draw these lines right here, or these zones, you can see price just rejects off them perfectly, right? Price comes down, rejects, 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 because it's trying to find that area of support where it's actually going to push to the upside. The only way that I would see this dropping further is if the earnings were really bad. I'm not sure what the earnings were today or what was released, but obviously, earnings were released today. So let me just refresh this real quick. Looking over here, the Dow's red right now, S&P's red, NASDAQ is currently up. I don't have the list of the earnings here. Let me see if I can find them in the chat real quick. I know Lisa posted them yesterday or on Monday, I think. Okay, here we go. So let me pull the earnings up over here. Today's Wednesday. I don't think any of these, I think Boeing's in US 30. So Boeing, and I think that's it for the most part. Other than that, nothing post-market. The ones that were post-market yesterday were Microsoft, Visa, and I think that's it. So Microsoft and Visa were last night, and then today was Boeing. So let me just pull up the stock index real quick to see what's going on here. Let's just see what's red right now. What's actually pulling it down. So Visa's red. Looks like their earnings were probably not good because they're down 10 points. This is the only stock that's really holding it down right now. Visa's down heavily. I haven't seen a stock down 10 points in a while. So Visa's down 10 points. JP Morgan's down 2 points. It's pretty much all the finance stocks. Goldman Sachs down 2 points. Honeywell down 2 points. Caterpillar down almost 2 points. Everything else is pretty much green for the most part down here. Microsoft is actually green. It's up 7 points. McDonald's is up 4 points. United Health is up 2 points, and Salesforce is up 2 points as well. So just looking at this right now, I'm going to refresh this. Currently down 35 points. Looking over at the fundamentals for futures data, it's currently up 40 points. So as you guys can see right here, price is starting to make its way back up, right? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark up a certain area where I think price is likely to return. So generally what happens is when big drops like this happen, price returns to where market opened. So market opened right over here. And as you can see, price is starting to swing up heavily, right? It's doing exactly what I anticipated. We were anticipating this to swing down, hit some of the support down here and swing all the way back up. However, I'm not going to enter these trades just yet. I'm going to wait first before I enter these because I'm not sure if it's going to continue up yet. But this is what I expect to happen. What I expect to happen is price is likely to come back up to this point right here, this pink line, and then one of two things will happen. Price will either reject off it or it'll break above it and continue pushing up higher. So that's something for you guys to pay attention to, this specific line right here. I'll just lock that in place so that you guys can see. But until price reaches here, then I'm probably not really going to mess with the market yet until I have some sort of confirmation. If you guys are familiar with the other strategies that we apply, there's a variation entry right here, but I'm not going to enter it because I do expect price to continue to push back up. So I wouldn't enter this trade even if it does look good. I think Maddie's probably looking at this trade right now. So Maddie, you're probably looking at this and it's probably gonna hit TP, but it already did actually. So hit TP really quick right there. If you're applying the variation to the high-low strategy. However, I'm not gonna take any risky trades like that right now, especially when we're not really sure what direction price is gonna be going. So, and we have news at 7:30, so just keep that in mind, guys, as well. So just want to remind you guys, but yeah, there was a variation entry right there. Let me go and put the strategies up here real quick so that you guys know exactly what we're looking for. So for the 1 minute pivot scalp, those are going to be the requirements right there for the high-low strategy that we're still currently working on. And you can see price is swinging back up right there. So as you can see, price is going back up. And that's the reason why I didn't want to take the variation to the downside right now. So I'm going to keep drawing these high lows right here. And you guys already saw my analysis for this push to the upside, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete these zones because these zones are kind of relevant at this point. You guys saw exactly what I identified and it played out perfectly. Obviously, some people could have made moves off that analysis there if you want to be risky. But if you guys are familiar with how I trade, I don't trade like that. I trade very conservatively. That's why I rarely lose. But, obviously, if I was to take these trades off this analysis that I've been giving, I can easily lock in a lot more profit. But, for me, I'd rather just have consistent profit rather than having erratic profit where it's like really inconsistent. So I didn't take those trades there, but obviously if you guys took them, you guys could have made a ton of profit off just that basic analysis that I did there. So here's the daily entry that we've been looking at as well, the one that Deswell showed us. We also have the pivot scalp strategy right there. So I'm pretty much just putting up the strategies right here, and we're going to identify whether there are any entries available using any of these strategies here. If I take anything on my own, obviously I'll tell you guys, but currently right now, I'm not necessarily looking for anything until we have a confirmation, because I like to make sure that all my confluences line up before I take a trade, because I only want to take trades that I'm like almost 100% sure are going to hit. So let me go over here real quick. So guys, for the daily strategy or for the 10-minute, I haven't been taking this trade at all. The reason for that's because it's always been pushing up to the upside, and it's been pushing towards the all-time high, which is not really a smart move to do, especially if it's it's trying to break the high. Because the thing, when it breaks the high, it usually has to retrace back a little bit. So I haven't been taking this daily entry. However, if the daily entry is within the range and it doesn't pass the high, then yeah, I would probably take it. But currently right now, I'm not taking a daily entry. We'll look for it if it comes up. But if it doesn't, that's completely fine. So let me see if there's any zones here for the snipe strategy. All right, so price is currently right here. It's going to draw one zone right there. And then draw another zone right over here. So we got two zones right there. No entry for the snipes. What we need price to swing back to the upside for us to see any entries off that. Wait, this is the daily. Let me delete this. Sorry, wrong one. This is going to be the snipe. All right, so no entries here off the snipe. In order for us to get a snipe entry, we need a rejection off the pivots, which are not coming anytime soon. We don't have any entries here off the daily because we're looking for the first valid signal. Looking here on the 3-minute, there's no valid entry here as well. We would need a valid sell signal in order for there to be an entry. And in order for us to have an entry off the daily, we need a valid signal as well. So no entries here off the 3-minute. Going over to the 1-minute, we have a technical, we technically have an entry here using the pivot scalp strategy. However, I'm not going to take that trade because, like I mentioned, the bias right now is very bearish. So with a lot of people bearish right now, I don't really want to trade with the actually I might trade with it because it's only 72% now, and now the fundamentals are red, and the I mean, it's not that strong though. So that's the problem here. I need this to be negative 100 points for me to want to trade for a sell, for it to be a strong bias on the sell side. The bias right now is not that strong. It's only down 28 points. So this can easily just swing back to the upside. Looking over here at the stock index, this is currently, Visa is still the only one that's really holding it down. The other red stocks here are not that far down. Goldman Sachs is down 3 points. JP Morgan is down 2 points. The only one that's heavily in the red is Visa, which is down 8 points. So once this starts to flatten out and goes, more closer to the normal numbers down here, like -3, -4, then this is going to go back to positive. So what I'm looking for here is I'm just waiting for this to confirm, because as you can see right here, price is now just ranging. So at this point, price is now just going sideways. It's not really moving directional at all. So what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for this to swing back to the upside, because I do have this line over here drawn, and this is the point where I anticipate it to swing up to. However, right now price is just going back and forth right here. So obviously you can see if I move that line to there and I turn off the sessions indicator, you can see price is literally just ranging right now sideways, but you can see price is attempting to make its way to the upside. So we'll see what happens. It's just a game of patience, right? I try to remind you guys this as much as possible. Some people listen, some people don't. If you listen, then you can be getting caught in these risky trades. However, if you want to take the risky trades, that's it's up to you guys. It's really up to you. It's your account. You can do whatever you like. But for me personally, I'm going to be waiting for that confirmation before I hop into any of these trades here. So in order for me to take a buy, because I'm looking for a buy right now, and I'm waiting for this to, and you can see the number here is starting to dwindle, right? It was -30 points, now it's -8, starting to make its way to the upside, back into the green, and that's pretty much what I'm looking for. In order for me to have an entry using the high-low scalp strategy, basically we need to confirm this high right here. In order for us to confirm it, we need about 4 candles to pass and not touch this line here, because if it touches the line, it's going to establish a new high. So we need 4 candles to pass, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if it pushes above here after those 4 candles and closes, then I'll take a buy. Vice versa for the pivot scalp strategy. In order for us to take a pivot scalp, we need price to push to the upside. We need it to retrace back a little bit. And then when it swings back up with the buy signal, then we'll take an entry using this strategy right here. So as you can see, we're looking for 2 different things with these 2 different strategies. Same with the 3-minute over here. In order for us to take a buy here using the pivot scalp strategy, this one right here, it's pretty much the same strategy, just on a different time frame. We need price to push above the pivots here. Wait for it to retrace down a little bit, and then catch it as it swings back up. Because we're looking for a buy here, right? That's pretty much what we're looking for. And the reason for that is because of the retail sentiment, and on top of that, because of the fundamental bias as well. Even though the bias isn't that strong right now, I do anticipate it to swing back up at some point. So it's pretty much just a waiting game at this point, guys. Looking over here, refreshing this. It's currently only 4 points in the red now 21 points in the red. You can see prices just kind of fluctuating back and forth. It looks like what happened with the market makers didn't really play out, right? They were trying to trap traders into sells. However, a lot of people who are already in the sells, because it was 76%, they already pulled out. So it didn't really work out in their favor. This happens all the time, right? Not everyone's going to fall for the trap. They're going to trap people for some sells. Not everyone's going to fall for it. And then they're just going to have to range price a little bit until people start going one direction or the other. So that's kind of what's happening right now. That's why price is ranging, because they're trying to determine Are there more retail traders on the short side, or are there more retail traders on the long side? And which way should they fluctuate price to lure in some more traders in that direction? So for example, here, if they're going to lure in more sellers, and that's kind of what it looks like what's happening here. If they're going to lure in more sellers here, then they can easily, swing the price back to the other direction once there's enough people in that direction. So what I see right now is I just see price ranging at this point. Obviously, you can see I've drawn it right here. The new highs and the lows are right here, and price is just going sideways. Let me go back to the fundamentals over here real quick and see what I've got right here. Hey Kushi, morning. Morning Lethal, morning everybody. So I have the Zoom chat closed right now, guys. So if you guys do have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the Zoom chat and I'll take a look at them later once I'm done looking for trades. But currently right now, I'm just looking for trades. I want to take at least one trade before I answer any questions. So there's nothing here off the 3-minute, nothing here off the 10-minute. In order for us to get an entry, we need price to come up and reject off one of these pivots. And then once it rejects off the pivots, whether it be a buy or a sell, or actually it's a buy right now, because we have a buy signal. So in order for us to get an entry off this, we need price to reject off it and then swing back to the upside. But there's nothing available right now. First requirement is wick rejection off any pivot. Pivot's right here, there's no rejection, so no entry available currently. Looks like we have a pending sell here up to 10-minute as well. So zooming out from here, you can see price has been dropping since 8 o'clock yesterday. So yesterday morning, price has pretty much just been in a downward move from this point. From here, down to currently down here. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to keep pushing that direction. It's just going to be a matter of time. So going back to the 1-minute, reason why I'm going back to the 1-minute is because this is going to be the first time frame where we'll have some entries. There's no entries off the 3-minute. There's no entries off the 10-minute. We'll have to find one here on the 1-minute before we move on to those higher time frames. But currently right now, there just isn't anything for us to look at because price is just ranging back and forth. Obviously, you can see there's no bias right now. If there was a bias, price would be pushing one direction. But currently right now, there's no bias. Price is just right down the middle. It goes from -20 to like maybe +5, and it just keeps going back and forth. Looking over here at the stock index, Visa is still down 9 points. Microsoft is up 9 points. So these kind of cancel each other out. Goldman Sachs is now dwindling as well. It was currently -3. Now it's only -2. Honeywell was like negative. It was past -2. Now it's right at -2. So as you guys can see, a lot of these stocks are starting to strengthen a little bit. The only stock that's really red right now is Visa, because you can see the big price differential, right? The change in price. So Visa is down 9 points. Goldman Sachs is down 2 points. The big change. Right here on the green stocks, we have a lot of strong green stocks. So we have Microsoft up 9 points, McDonald's up 7 points, Salesforce up 2.5, United Health 3.6, Home Depot up 2 points, et cetera, et cetera. American Express too. So American Express was actually in the red earlier. Now it's in the green. So as you can see, a lot of stocks here are starting to turn green. And you can see that with the fundamentals here too. You can see this is starting to turn green as well, right? It was -30, -40. Now it's +4. So you can see prices pushing up right here. If this closes above here, then this would technically be a buy entry for the high-low strategy. So let's see. Yeah, if this closes, it needs to close above the line though. One risky thing is that it's at the London low, so it might be a little bit of a risky trade. However, it does look like a good buy if anyone is looking to possibly take this trade here. So let's see. Yeah, this would be a buy right there. What I'm going to do is I'll wait for it to pull back a little bit. I'll have a buy stop right here and I'll just trigger it as it comes up. Let's put this in over here. Let's mark this up. I'm going to set up my MT4 real quick too. All right. So check my MT4. sure everything's good. So for the most part, I'm gonna check the fundamentals real quick to see where everything is currently moving right now. Refresh this. It's currently at 11 points. Looking over here at the retail sentiment, it's currently 72% short. So I mean, we still have a bias here for the retail sentiment. However, it's not necessarily strong one direction or the other. So I haven't entered the position yet for that scalp. What I did is I just placed my buy stop right now. So I'm not currently in the position, but if it does swing up, then I'll enter into it. That's pretty much what I've been doing pretty much all week because of how the market's been moving. It's just been moving too volatile, right? Where we get caught in a lot of these whipsaws in price, where price is just bouncing back and forth. So I'm not currently in the position right now. I'm currently just waiting for it to swing back up. And this is the reason why I didn't want to enter right away, because price does this. It comes down and then it comes right back up. So currently right now, I'm not in the position, but I'm currently waiting for it to have a buy stop set in place. And then if it swings back up, technically the stop loss would be down here, 30 pips. So, or 300 pips. I have my buy stop set up. So if it swings back up here, it'll automatically trigger my order, and then it'll put me into the trade. And then I'll just write its way to the upside. So it's pretty much what we'll be waiting for here. I know the market's been doing this a lot like the past couple of days. You guys have noticed it. It's been like pulling back a lot and then it goes right back up. So I don't necessarily enter right away. I kind of just wait for it. And then when it triggers it, like right now I have my pending buy stop. I could have bought right here, but I didn't want to risk it. So here we go as it pushes up. And there we go as it hits my TP. There you go as it pulled out. All right. So I made a little profit off it. It pulled back a little bit. It didn't pull me out like completely. So I got like partial profit off it. But it hit TP. That's the reason why I pulled out myself manually. I mean, it's probably gonna hit anyways, but I pulled out because I don't want to risk it. Price is just too volatile right now. So there you go. With the full TP off that 1 minute high-low scalp. I know a lot of people don't like this risk forward right here, but the reason why we have this set up is because of things like this. Price will pull back and then it'll swing back up. For me, I pulled out a little, like it hit TP and it didn't close me out. I was looking on my chart right here. It TP and it didn't close me out. So what I did was I just manually closed it out. So I'll show you guys that trade. So let me just give you guys a little update there. It's kind of just being patient. I've been like, this is what I've been preaching to you guys like for the past forever. I've been telling you guys to be patient. I don't enter trades right away this week specifically because of these specific things. I know how price has been moving all week. That's why I didn't enter right away. I just waited for it to come down. And then as it came back up, I just entered the trade because I knew it was going to come back up. It was just a matter of time. So there goes a 1 minute scalp there. And even if you entered right there, like if you entered right at the point, it still wouldn't have hit your stop loss because you were still off by like a few points. So hopefully you guys did what I did, or you guys made profit off it, and you can see price pushing only to the upside right here. So, and like one funny thing that like someone mentioned, like on Trustpilot too, someone mentioned that it's impossible for US 30 to be manipulated. That's some like crazy stuff right there. If you guys look on Trustpilot, it was like the most recent review. Like some guy gave me a 1-star review and said that US 30 can't be manipulated. I'm like, this guy's crazy. He said that he also said that the US 30 market is bigger than the Forex market. I'm like, man, this guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. So I didn't even bother with it. It was the more and more I read his review, I was like, this guy obviously doesn't know what he's talking about. And it was just, I mean, it was a good laugh. So here we go with this right here. I'll take a screenshot of these profits right here. So we got, get this right here. Take a screenshot of that. Also take a screenshot of my weekly profits as well, just to just to show you guys, where I've been sitting for this week so far, which hasn't been, I mean, it hasn't been amazing, but it's been okay. I'm currently up like 16K, I think, for the week. It's only Wednesday, so not a huge deal. Still got, today and Thursday, Friday to continue on with this, but I'll show you guys what I made off this. So let me just post my profits off that one trade right there, and then we'll look for the next one. It's all about patience, guys. Like for me, I was waiting for this trade for like some time, and then it finally came. And that's so weird. My profits were so small compared to what I was expecting. I was supposed to make 1,000 off that trade, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because of slippage, my spread. I only made like about 1,000 off that trade. So looking, 1,000 total. I was looking to make 1,000 per account, but you can see right here, my account only made 270 off this one. I don't know what happened there. It's weird. I don't. It was probably because of the spread. And then again, right here, I made 470. So in total, I'm in profit about 658 off this account, and then 958 off this account. Lock in a quick profit off that K2 hello scalp. Little update right there. All right, looks solid for the most part right there. If you guys have profits off that trade, go ahead and send them in the group, and then I'll add them to the list of profits for the day. So I think some of you guys did send me your profits, and I'll take a look at that right now as well. So as you guys can see the line that I drew up here, the pink line? If you guys remember my analysis from earlier, I mentioned that price was going to reach that pink line, right? And it did exactly what I mentioned. So if you guys remember from this very beginning of the session, I mentioned price was below here, and I said price was going to push up to this pink line right here, and look what happened. It's at the pink line, exactly where I anticipated. So I mean, I always find it funny when people like talk shit like on these like fake review sites and say that I don't know what I'm doing. Obviously, I know what I'm doing, bro. Because that like everything that I said today played out exactly how it plays out every single day. The thing with US 30, guys, is if you guys traded enough, you guys will see patterns where it does the same thing every single day. So price reached this point right here. Price will do one of two things now. Price will either continue to push up or price will come down. So whenever I hear these trolls talk about K2 or talk about me, it just always makes me laugh. It's like, all right, bro. I mean, you're in this room for a reason because you want to like listen to my analysis of these charts. But people still want to go and be idiots. But whatever, it's all good. So anyways, going back to my profits over here, other people posted their profits off those trades too. So scrolling down right here, Rick over here locked in a total of 848. So nice work right there, Rick. Albert over here locked in a total of 2,199. Nice work, Albert. Junior over here locked in a total of 2,537. So you can see, guys, like there's not just me that's profiting. There's like a lot of people here who are profiting. Jose over here locked in a total of 2,339. Great work, Jose. And obviously he took that buy there because you can see his most recent trade at 655, which was when he took that trade. He made 790 off that trade. So great work right there, Jose. Tommy here, same position. He took the buy, locked in a total of 1,689. Great work, Tommy. Paul over here took the buy as well, locked in a total of 2,082 for the day. Great work, Paul. Let me just forward these to my account as well. Donovan over here locked in a total of 174. Nice work, Donovan. Cheryl locked in a total of about 8,000 for today. Great work, Cheryl. Professor over here locked in a total of 1,010. Great work, Professor. Patricia locked in a total of 1,907. Nice work, Patricia. Dean over here locked in a total of 909. So you can see these are all different people. It's not just one person. There's like 10, 20, 30 people here who posted their profits off that one trade that we took. Isai over here locked in a total of 159. Nice work, Isai. R over here locked in a total of 790. Great work, R, off that same trade, right? So I'm showing you guys the same trade that we took. That buy that I posted earlier, this one, I'm not the only one that profited off that. A lot of people here profited as well. R locked in 790 off that same trade that everyone else took here. Daddy over here locked in a total of 221. Nice work, Daddy. I see your message there, and I'll get back to you after the live session, Daddy, because I see it's a personal question. Maddie over here as well locked in a total of 3,923. It's not loading, but I'll let it load. Patricia over here locked in a total of 1,907. Great work, Patricia. And you can see she took the same trade right there, right? 3,451 right there. So great work off that. Patricia Roman over here locked in a total of 2,574. Nice work, Roman. And then the list is still going on, guys. It's like I'm not necessarily looking for anything specific. There's just more and more people here posting their profits. Eunice as well locked in a total of 149. Great work, Eunice. So everyone here did pretty well. If you guys have more profits to send over or share, add them to the list, and then I will post them later once we're done. So Isaac over here as well, up 260 for the day. Nice work, Isaac. And then Rick over here as well, locked in a total of 1,740. So great work, Rick. Off that one scalp right there, he made 905. Great work. And I think that's it for right now. So if you guys have more profit to send over, go ahead and send them over. Otherwise, we'll be looking for some more trades here. So as you guys can see, everything here that we have analyzed, we've been looking at, is playing out perfectly. I probably could have made a lot more profit if I just caught it from down here where I anticipated to shoot up from. But just like I mentioned, guys, I'm a conservative trader. I'm not taking any risky trades. Also, I don't want to take trades like that on these live sessions because I already know once I make a mistake, I'm gonna have some more trolls waiting to call me out on stuff like this. So yeah, for the most part, pretty solid. Peter mentioned live Attorney General Merrick testifies before state judiciary. So Merrick is talking again. He was talking like a couple of days ago as well. If you guys remember, he was talking. So this is probably going to affect the market one way or the other. Everything can affect the market really, but I think he's talking about, I don't know what he's going to be talking about, but obviously it's going to be about the US. And if it's, some war talk or stuff that happened in Afghanistan, it's going to affect the market one way or the other. So yeah, he's now testifying right now. So this is a time to maybe be a little more careful unless we have like a really, really good trade. So if I see something that's really good, then I will, I'll check. Obviously, you can see the market is 75% short now. So that's why I'm still anticipating price to continue to push up higher. So as you guys can see, they're still luring in a lot of sellers. I can see price coming back down right now. And when price comes back down at this point, I'm going to be waiting for the same exact thing. I'm going to be waiting for it to bounce right back up because retail traders are on the short side right now. Obviously, I want to be trading the opposite of them. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes or so. However, we do have news coming up at 7:30. So it's 7:08 right now. We have the crude oil inventories at 7:30, which I think is going to be positive because if you guys have been here in California, you guys have seen the gas prices. Gas prices are insane. Thank God I got my Tesla, so I don't need to pay for gas. It wouldn't really matter, but still, gas prices are crazy because the oil inventories are low, which is a good thing for the economy. It sucks for people who buy gas, but for the economy, it's good because we're selling oil and whatnot, and the demand for it's high. So with that said, I think when the news comes out at 7:30, it's probably going to help the market one way or the other. I don't know if we have any gas stocks in. I know we used to, but I don't know if we have any gas stocks in the Dow 30 right now. Oh, we have Chevron. So we have Chevron. I don't know if Boeing will tie in with it maybe, but for sure Chevron. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else here. Well, a lot of these companies have like smaller companies that are tied with gas or whatever, oil, with their investments and whatnot, especially like the finance companies here, like Goldman Sachs. What else? JP Morgan. There's a lot of different companies that everything kind of ties in with each other, right? One way or another. So we'll see what happens in the next 20 minutes or so. But you can see right here, price is still dancing around that area that I drew that pink line. So this is now the range. The range is now within these two areas right here. And price is going to do one of two things. It's either going to push up or it's going to push back down. So we'll see what happens here. This would technically be a buy entry using the pivot scalp strategy. However, I don't think I'm going to enter it right now because of where price currently is, right? Price is currently in an area where, I'm kind of like wary to say manipulation now because I'm waiting for the troll to like call me out and say, oh, there's no manipulation in the market. Whenever someone says that, it like drives me nuts because it's like, bro, then explain to me why the market is doing this, or explain to me why the market is whipsawing like this when it shouldn't be, or when fundamentals are like so bullish and then price is still dropping. That's like clear manipulation, but still some people don't believe in manipulation, which I mean, I don't know. It's like how some people think the world's flat, right? I don't know, everyone has their own opinions, but I don't really care because what I'm doing works. So I'll keep doing what I'm doing. But yeah, so we'll keep watching to see if there is anything else here. So here's there would technically be a bullish buy right here using the pivot scalp strategy. But like I mentioned, guys, I'm probably not going to take it. I'll mark it up for whoever does want to take it. But I don't want to take it because it's currently at a point right now where price can easily just spike back down, right? Price might just spike back down, and then after it spikes back down, it'll come back up. Basically, just like what happened earlier when we entered that buyer a few minutes ago. So, yeah, we'll be watching for that. I just saw your guys' messages in the Zoom. So I'm not really looking at right here, huge push to the upside. Yeah, this is technically going to be a buy here, but there's I mean, there's not going to be a buy because there's no buy signal. We need a valid buy signal in order for it to be a buy. If price pushes up higher, then yeah, I'll take the buy. But currently, right now, there's I mean, there's no buy that's available. Yeah, thanks, Miles. So Miles just what's called reminded us that crude oil inventories is coming up in about 15 minutes. So I'm probably not going to take any more trades until the news happens because I do see that to affect the market one way or the other. I don't know how heavily it's going to affect the market, but it's going to affect the market. So I'm not going to trade it. What I'll do now is I'll look at the Zoom chat, or here, this is what I'll do first. I'll go to each chart here because I don't want someone to complain about me not looking for trades and just it's just funny, guys. Like every day we have a new troll. Like last week, someone was mad because I was giving help with trade psychology, and they said that I don't even trade during the live session. So here, just to please like that troll, I'm gonna go and look through each chart to show you that there's no entries available before I answer questions. So right here on the 1 minute, there's no entries available, right? There's nothing off the 1 minute. Reason for that is because this is an invalid buy signal. We need to be a valid momentum signal for us to take a buy here. For this high-low scalp, we need 4 candles to establish this high. So we have 1 candle here, 2, 3, 4. Once we have 4 candles, then if price pushes up above here and closes, then we can take that buy there using the high-low. But currently right now, there's no entries available off the 1 minute. Going to the 3 minute here, there's no entries available here because you need a valid momentum signal for this strategy, and you need a valid momentum signal for this strategy right here. There's no valid signals here, right? So there's no entry available. Looking over here at the 10 minute, technically this would be an entry using the snipe strategy. However, I'm not going to take it because like I mentioned, market is super choppy right now, so I don't really want to take any risky trades. But if you guys do want to take it, we'll have this marked up. I mean, some of you guys here still take this trade very often. I personally don't take it as much as I used to because of the choppiness in the market. Like what happened yesterday, right? This trade looked like a good trade and then just kept bouncing around so much. But this would technically be a snipe entry. So for whoever's looking for the snipe entry, there's one currently running. I'll have this to alert me if it does hit TP, and I'll give you guys an alert for whoever does decide to take it. It's probably going to hit because we're looking for that bullish move anyways. However, I don't know how long it's going to take for it to hit. But we'll have that marked up right there. Looking over here at the daily entry, there's nothing available because we need a valid signal here as well. So yeah, that's about it. I've looked at everything here. The crude oil inventory news is coming up in about 15 minutes. So I'm not going to be taking any trades from now until then, until that passes. So there you go, guys. I looked at the 1 minute, I looked at the 3 minute, I looked at the 10 minute and the other 10 minute chart over here to confirm that there's no entries that are currently available at this moment. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up the Zoom chat and I'm going to answer any questions here that we have. So I'm going to scroll up to the top. Rick's going to like the color Shawn's shirt, right? And it's just funny, guys. Like we go on this live session every day, so I'm used to it. People want to troll, whatever. It doesn't really bother me. It's funny because a lot of people try to troll and they try to distract me from my trades, but I'm still here profiting every day. It doesn't really distract me because I'm so used to it. But anyways, let me scroll down. So Jennifer's first question was, "Good morning. I'm new here. All are these Zoom calls daily? Yeah, they're every day, Monday through Friday, weekdays from 6:30 to about 8, or I mean, depending on how the market's moving. If the market's not really moving much, then we close out early, but generally till 8, pretty much every morning from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is New York Stock Exchange open. Scrolling down a little bit, Jennifer's asking, what's the best broker to trade Forex and indices US 30? I mean, there's different brokers. It really depends on your preference. If you're okay with trading with a unregulated broker, which is what majority of people use, a lot of people here use Hugo's Way. If you want to trade just futures and you want to trade directly on TradingView, you can use TradeStation. That's what a lot of people use. I personally started with TD Ameritrade. That's what I used for my stocks, options. You're probably familiar with it: stocks, options, Forex, and futures, or indices, if you want to call it. But I stopped using them because when they became a free platform, the customer service went down. It was just like a lot of their stuff just wasn't as good anymore. So I moved from there. Now I currently only trade with Ftml. I used to trade with my Hugo's Way every once in a while, but now I just trade with my Ftml. It's just a lot easier that way. And if you're not familiar with Ftml, it's basically a funding company. Basically, you pass a challenge, and then once you pass that, you get funded, and then you keep 80% of the profits. So you pretty much have all the upside once you pass the challenge, which shouldn't be a problem if you apply the strategies properly. So that's what I use myself. If you want to know what I use Ftml. I don't really trade a personal anymore. Eventually maybe I'll open up another personal and just have it copy my trades. However, I don't really like trading big money on a unregulated broker. So if you want to trade Forex, they're separate platforms. If you want to trade them all together on one platform, then I think your best option would be TD Ameritrade, because TradeStation is a futures broker. They don't have Forex, and Forex.com is a Forex broker. They allow indices for certain clients, but you have to be located in like certain areas. Like I think one of the main places is like Canada. I think they allow Canadian traders to trade both, but not in the US. So if you're located in the US, it's not going to work for you. So those are pretty much my recommendations if you want to use any of those brokers. Scrolling down, let me see if there's anything else over here. Yeah, a lot of people are avoiding the daily as well. Paul said currently up 1700 thanks to NASDAQ, going to wait for the scalp on these US 30, then call it a day. Yeah, definitely, Paul. And I think you caught that already earlier off that earlier scalp that we took. Fahad said it's really close to London low for the high-low strategy. Yeah, I was looking for that too, Fahad. That's why I was waiting for it to close above it. Since it closed above it, that's why I took it. Rick said, can you show the rules for the new strategy? The rules are going to be right here, Rick. They're not finalized yet. So for the most part, this is probably what it's going to be like. But I'm going to continue testing for another week, and then I'm going to see if there's anything else that needs to be added before we finalize it. Because, I want to make sure everything is good and ready to go before I introduce it to you guys officially, so that there's no confusion. So let me scroll down a little bit. Fire Tablet was asking buy stop at London. My buy stop was at the original entry. Whenever I enter a trade late, guys, I just have my buy stop at the original entry. I don't get greedy and enter early. I just wait for it to swing back up, and if it triggers it, it triggers it. If not, then I just wait for the next entry. Maddie said barely gave me profit because Maddie said barely gave me profit because it was moving too fast. LOL. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, same with me too. It was slippage. So it happened to cut me out early as well. So I just saw those messages right there. Isai said first time using buy stops after a while. Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I use and it worked perfectly fine. I'll take all these other questions here because I don't really see anything else here. Isai said would have been faster if I said a TP. We have another Alpha Omega said, I ain't either. I'm just saying pick up the slack, not enough good methods, trades, or strategies. I guess. So Alpha's here. I mean, I guess, bro, I don't care. Everyone can say whatever they want. I don't have any good methods, trades, or strategies, but I mean, the profits speak for themselves, right? I mean, this is all I need to show you. There's multiple people here profiting off these strategies and methods. Alpha, what have you done to do this for anyone else? Probably nothing, right? You're just here trolling. You said you're not a troll, but you're here obviously trolling. because the profits speak for themselves. These aren't even my profits. These are everyone else's profits, and these are just from today. You can see the timestamp from today. I could pull up any day for this entire year. You want me to pull up some profits from July 14th, random day, right? Who profited on this day? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I could keep going. 7, 8. You want another day? Let's go to like, okay, April 21st, random day. Who profited on this day? Yeah, exactly. So I guess none of this stuff works, but people are profiting. So I don't know. I don't see the logic there, but I mean, I don't know if you guys catch my sarcasm there. It's just so funny. Like people here just want to talk, but whatever. I guess you're not trolling, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so let me just go over here and keep answering the rest of the questions here. Dean said same stuff, different day. No, exactly. We apply the same stuff every single day, and it just applies, right? Chris said, fuck them, Shawn. You have haters because you're doing it big. No, exactly. Peter said negative reviews are probably IML members. No, I agree. No, I don't, Jennifer. So Jennifer's asking if I actively trade on TD Ameritrade. I don't trade on with them anymore. I only trade with Ftml. Matt said, what analysis today? Shawn, very good. Impressive, bro. Yeah, definitely. Jennifer said, do you mind sharing your daily ROI? I mean, Jennifer, you're really asking for like really like, well, it doesn't matter what my ROI is, right? If you can look at my profits every day, Jennifer, you can scroll and see what I post up every day, right? So I'm trading a 200K account. My ROI on this today is probably very small. It's like 1,000, right? So if you're doing like, oh, what's that? Like that's like less than 1%, less than 0.5%. Yesterday was a lot higher, obviously. It was like 2,000 to 3,000. You know, if you look at my profits, like you can figure out what the ROI is. But so here, this doesn't matter because the thing is, if I'm pulling like this ROI, so this is from Monday, right? My ROI on this day was I made 4,000 on this account, which is a 200K account. The ROI on that's about 2%, right? Just because I'm making 2% doesn't mean you're going to make 2% because you don't have the same, you know, ability to trade like I do. So I just don't like getting questions like that because a lot of people think just because I'm doing well, you're going to automatically do well, right? There's no guarantee you're going to do that well, especially if you're barely learning how to trade. You don't know what broker, you're probably not going to do that well straight out the gate, right? I've been trading for 11 years. So for me, I'm a seasoned trader. I've been trading for so long and I know exactly what to look for. So it doesn't matter what my ROI is. You should be focused on what your ROI is. I feel like a lot of people just, they focus on the wrong things, right? If you guys should be focusing on you. Don't focus on what I'm making. Don't focus on what other people are making because you'll see a lot of people here in the group make a lot of profits and people think it's automatic, right? Like Rick here, Rick's making 1,000. You're not Rick, so you're not going to make the same profits as Rick. Isaac here is making 200. Eunice here is making 149. Everyone here is doing something different. Not everyone's going to have the same exact profits. So it just really depends on you as a trader and you personally, how you can handle risk management, trade psychology, because the strategies obviously work. It's just how you apply them yourself. So Jennifer, if I get some more questions from you regarding like personal things like this, I'm just gonna skip over them because they're just irrelevant, right? To you, they're irrelevant to you, they're irrelevant to me because you're not gonna have the same results as me. That's like almost guaranteed. Let me scroll down a little bit. Dean said, imagine denying manipulation. That's like saying retail traders don't exist. Exactly. Sam said, man said US 30 is bigger than Forex, and he's laughing. Yeah, no, I agree, guys. Sometimes, I mean, I don't know. When I see messages, sometimes they just kind of throw me off, like when people don't believe in manipulation or anything of the like. So going back to the charts here, I'm gonna go off that whatever I was just talking about. Looking at the chart here, price is pretty much coming back from where it bounced from, right? So I mentioned price was going to come up, get to this pink line, and then once it gets to this pink line, price was going to do one of two things, right? It was going to either bounce up or bounce off it. And you can see right here, price bounced right off it. So I'm going to go back and just analyze the charts again, just to make sure there's no trades available. I'm not going to take any trades because it's 7:25. News is coming up in about 5 minutes anyway. So for this here, we just don't necessarily have anything to really take. I mean, obviously, we're not going to take any trades because news is coming up. There's nothing here off the 1 minute because we need a valid signal in order for us to take any of these trades here, this wouldn't be a high-low entry either because, or this technically would have been right here. So going over here, this this candle right here broke below this line, right? So looking at the high-low strategy, we confirm this as a previous swing low. We confirm that price broke and closed past it. We have a sell signal, so we're trading that direction. So for example, all these requirements were met for this entry right here, which we technically could have taken, but I wasn't going to take it because we're waiting for the news to pass. So looking at this right here, you can see that it went straight to TP if you were to take this trade. So yeah, nothing right there for the most part. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. So I'm not taking any trades. Reason for that's because news is coming up shortly. I'm just showing you guys that there's not really much for us to take at the specific moment. Looking at the 3-minute, this was technically an entry here off the 3-minute as well. So if you wanted to take the daily entry right here, I know we missed it, but I mean, I didn't want to trade because news was coming up. But this right here, basically, we're looking for a valid K2 momentum signal right here, which we have a valid sell signal. Next, we want to confirm prices below the pivots. So prices below the pivots right here, we would enter right here for a short position. And that would be an entry using this strategy right here. Also for the daily strategy, we were looking for the first valid signal after market open. Market open here at 6:30. We're looking for the valid signal, which is right here. And this would have been a valid entry for a sell. So with that said, if we took any of these entries using these strategies right here and we let it run, it would have went straight to TP right there for this. But like I mentioned, guys, it was too close to news. News was coming up at 7:30, so I wouldn't have wanted to have taken it anyways. Whoever took it, great work on your end. But like I mentioned before, I'm trading conservatively. I'm not really looking at taking these trades here. And this is why I don't want to take a snipe entry here as well, because of the specific reason. So that's why I didn't take that trade there. And there's reasons why I don't take trades, right? So a lot of people don't like that I don't people don't like that I give analysis but don't take the trade. And there's a reason why I don't take the trade for specific reasons, right? I was anticipating price spike around because news was coming up soon. And that's kind of what's happening right now. It's 6:27 right now. News is coming up in about 3 minutes. A lot of pre-market stuff's happening. Also, Attorney General Merrick is speaking as well, right? I mentioned that since he was going to speak here, he was probably going to affect the market. I don't know what he's saying right now because it's on mute, but whatever is causing price to drop is due to something that's going on in the market, right? Either something in the news, something that's been announced. I mean, there's something that's going on that's obviously pushing price down because there's no reason for price to really be spiking down like that super heavily. The bias here is very bearish though. So as you guys can see right here, it's 90 points in the red. And this is why we look at the fundamentals first. However, there's like a lot of other factors that can be affecting the market. So let me just update this real quick and see what's dropping. So Visa is still down 9 points, about 10 points. Goldman Sachs is down 3.3. 3M is down 3.2. Amgen is down 2.8. And this is why, I was deciding not to trade before the news, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because we would have gone caught in this nasty mess right here. I mean, there was no buy entries available given, but still huge spike to the downside. So let me check the retail sentiment and see what's going on over here. It's such a crazy market to be trading in right now. It's 74% short, so we're probably going to see it. If this continues to increase like it did earlier, then we're probably going to see it bounce back up. But this is exactly what we're waiting for right here. So here's the pink line from earlier, right? Same thing that we anticipated. Bounce off it right back down. So let me keep going down the questions over here to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I really don't mind missing any trades at this point because I don't want to get caught in this in this like unusual movement of price. So scrolling over here, Duggan said, damn, that was a hard hold. I entered way too early, tried to pick up. Yeah, no, definitely Duggan. I just saw your message. Let me scroll down a little bit. Maine said, I hate this market for the past week. Nothing at all. Yeah, I know it's hard. It's tough where like the market's been bouncing a lot back and forth. Clyde said, Shawn runs all these accounts in Telegram and posts all these. Exactly right, Clyde. Rick is asking, is it shown on YouTube where he is reading these troll comments? Yeah, it's right over here on the YouTube channel, right on the side panel. Okay, let's see. Um, Yeah, no, definitely. So Jennifer basically said, okay, I didn't know you how much capital you're trading with, no guarantees, but I'd like to know a mentor is doing better than I am. I mean, yeah, you can go and view all my profits. I mean, you're in the group already, Jennifer, so you can just go back to the premium signals channel and just scroll up, or you can check any date here because I post my profits every single day. You can see how consistent I've been, every day for the past 3 years or so. If you want to go and vet it, I mean, if you don't want to, that's completely fine. But I mean, I'd rather have you go and look than me tell you how good of a trader I am, right? If you can go back and see how well I'm doing, like this is in one day, right? And I do this stuff every single day. So if you want to go, like I always welcome everyone to go and vet me yourself. I'd rather have you guys vet me and look at my trades, look at my analysis, look at all my live sessions to see if I'm a better trader than you. I'm not going to go and tell you I am because I'm probably not. I mean, I'm never going to say I'm a better trader than anybody. I'm always going to just, I'm very humble about like how I trade. Obviously, all the profits here speak for themselves. All my analysis here speaks for itself. But if you want to go back and vet it, I mean, you can go ahead and vet it. I welcome anyone to do that. If you guys want to go back and go to the premium channel over here and just scroll up, or even go to a random date. You can go to pull up any date from like earlier this year if you want to. If you want to go back to April 8th, right, and just see what was I doing around April 8th, like what were my profits looking like on April 8th, right? You can go back and see what I was doing on April 8th. And I'd rather have you guys do that and figure out for yourself to see if I'm legit or not. Because anyone can tell you they're a legit trader, right? Anyone can tell you that they made profit today. But if I have data going back, months and months behind, and you can see like what I was doing back then, and I'm still doing the same thing now, then see my profits from like February. You can go back and see because everything's documented. I don't have anything here that could be hidden really. Everything's documented for years and years behind. So other than that, let me just scroll over here and see what else I got over here. All right, guys, I'm just skipping through all these questions. Do we have a lot of questions over here? Let's see if there's anything else. Lala's asking, just joined 2 weeks ago on YouTube. Thank you. I don't know how to post my profits. So Lala, you can take a screenshot of your profits and then post it in the Telegram. That works. Lala said made 5,130. Don't know how to post photo. I'm amazed. Thank you. Yeah, no, definitely, Lala. I'm glad to see that you're doing well on that end. Let's see if there's anything here. iPhone's asking, can we see any of your withdrawals from Ftml? Guys, like I don't understand like why everyone here is like, well, not everyone, but like certain people. iPhone, you've been in K2 for a while and you've seen all of the trades here. I'm not gonna go and like, I don't know if you're trying to like scam me or scam like try to get my account number because I've seen other people do that before. That's why even when I pull up my Ftml, I don't even show my account number. So no, I'm not going to show you my withdrawals from Ftml. I mean, I can if you really want me to, but if we do that, I'm just going to ban you from K2 just for asking like stupid questions. You've been here for a while, iPhone, so you know exactly how I trade. You know exactly how I've been doing. So I don't know, like, all right, guys, I'm just gonna get off the topic. It's just annoying because you've been here for so long, iPhone. So iPhone said, just out of curiosity, I know you're super consistent, but it's just annoying when like you've been here for a while, iPhone, and you're gonna ask a stupid question like that, right? So, yeah. I know it's just man, it's just crazy, guys. Like whatever, I'm just gonna go off that topic because it's just man, it's like these questions are adding up today, man. It's like yeah, I'm about to get off this live session because I'm just getting annoyed. Like there's so many questions here that yeah, Christopher said, Shawn, can you send me some of your profits? Oh yeah, exactly. I'll send you guys a bank wire right now. Okay, so other than that, here, let's just look at some trades next. I'm done looking at these questions. If you guys have questions, sorry if your questions didn't get answered. There's just like too much going on in the group right now, like with older members, with and look here, Jennifer, this isn't towards you because I know you're new here. This is just, I think iPhone just kind of like pushed it like to some next level stuff. So I'm like, bro, you've been here for years and you've seen how I traded. And it's like, dude, like you're gonna ask a dumb question like that. All right, anyways, let's go back over here and and look at everything else here. Okay, so looking at this, retail sentiment is currently 72% short. Looking at the fundamentals over here, it's currently 39 points in the red for futures data. Looking over here at the daily, it's currently 80 points in the red as well. So we have like a bearish bias right now. Reason, obviously, the bearish bias is because the fundamentals are completely red for the most part, not completely, but they're very red. So it's down 80 points right now. And then futures data is currently down 43 points. Looking over here at the retail sentiment, it's not as short as it was before. It's 72%. It was currently 75% prior, and now it's going down. So a lot of people are trying to pull out of those short positions. But let me just analyze the chart real quick. I'll do like a couple more analysis, and I'll probably just log off for the day because I'm pretty much done with this live session. And not because of like the questions that we've been getting today. It's because there's not really much for us to take, right? Price is kind of just going back and forth. Let me go over here and I'll just show you exactly what I mean by that. So looking at the at 630 right here. So looking at 630 right here, you can see that price isn't really moving smoothly at all, right? This is when market open. You can see how price kind of shot up from here, and then price came right back down. There's no clear direction as to where price is going to be going. It's the same situation with like what happened yesterday. So looking at the market yesterday on the 26th, it's pretty much the same thing. Market was just choppy. That's why we didn't really have many trades to take the day before that. So looking at this right here, price did the same thing, right? It went sideways, it went up, and then it came back down. There's no clear direction where price went yesterday. Going back to like a previous day, I'll show you like when price is moving smoothly, just like I did yesterday. So looking at current price over here, going to 630 over here. This did the same thing, right? Came up, then went sideways. No clear direction. I think the day where it was kind of moving smooth was like Monday of last week or Tuesday of last week. I just want to show you guys an example of like what we actually want to see in the market versus like we definitely don't want to see this in the market. This is 630 right here. So as you guys can see, the past couple of weeks have just been really choppy. This is the 21st. And then the 20th over here. This is actually what we're looking for. We want price to be moving smoothly. This is like normal market conditions where price isn't choppy. There's like probably nothing going on this day, but this is generally how we want the market to be moving, right? Because I'm on from 630 to 8. So from this point over here, this is like the kind of market that we want to be trading in. When market is moving smoothly to the upside or moving smoothly to the downside, we don't want when price is moving sideways like this, choppy. You know, if I just mark up from 630 to 8, this is like not a good market to be trading in because there's a lot of manipulation going on in both directions. Not really manipulation, but I would say there's really no there's no direction, right? It's just going sideways. And then, you know, going back to the day before, after that, pretty much like this too. It's the same situation from like 6 to 8, because this is the time that I'm live. Like this point right here, it's kind of just going sideways. And then today again as well, going over here to today. So if we just mark this up from 630 to 8, there's not really much of a direction set, right? It's just a huge range. So it's a huge range to the upside, huge range to the downside, back and forth, huge range, where it's just going sideways over here. So that's pretty much what we're looking for at this point. Let's see. All right, other than that, there just really isn't much of a direction. So one question from Austin's asking, is there a quota you have to make to keep your Ftml active? No, there isn't. So once you're funded, you can make like $1, or you can make, you know, X amount of profit for the for the month, or now it's bi-weekly. So you just have to make like, well, you don't even have to make that much profit. You have to just be active on the account. So at least take like one or two trades, within the period, within the month period, or within the payout period, and you should be fine. Like if you really want to just keep it open, you can just take like a small 0.01 trade and just open close it. That's pretty much all that you need to do to have your account active. So it's not really much, but there's no quota that you have to reach. Once you're funded, you can kind of just do whatever you want with the account. All right, let me scroll down real quick. So I'm looking at this right here. Currently right now, this is going to be the high lows. I'm hoping to take at least one more trade before I get off this live session. I'll go back and answer some more questions, but if I see any more questions that are just like, and it's fine. Like I always tell you guys, there's no dumb questions, but I take that back. There are some dumb questions that people can ask. If it's a question about trading or a question about something that's like beneficial for everyone, then it's then yeah, there's no dumb questions for that. But if you guys are going to ask me for personal details, regarding what's my account number, what's my bank account number, how much money is in my bank, I'm not going to answer any dumb questions like that. I'm probably going to block you from K2 if you ask any more questions like that. So here's a question from Patricia. Patricia is asking, Shawn, stupid question. How do you get those price labels to come up? So in order to get those price labels, depending on which one you're looking for, Patricia, if you want these on the side right here, just click on the settings button right here. Go to where's the thing at? Sorry, that's the wrong button. Where's the settings button at? Did they change it? Okay, so just do this, Patricia. Right click on your chart, go to settings. This used to be the settings button, but I don't know why did they change it. It's not here anymore. TradingView is updating like almost every day. So just right click on your chart, click on settings, and then go to indicator. If you want the numbers, like the price, just click on this. You can see there's no numbers there, right? If you click on it, there's numbers there. If you want the names right here, then click indicator name label. So, this is how you turn it on for those two. And sorry guys, I'm just like a little jittery right now because I keep getting so many questions today. It's like, and then I know a lot of people here are are noticing it too. Yeah, no, exactly. So Lala said, block the idiots. Please don't punish us for them. We're here to learn. Thank you. No, definitely, guys. I'm here to help you guys as much as possible. But I just, it's just today's like the day. I don't know. Today's the day everyone want to come out and ask like questions that are like pointless. But and this is to other people. It's not anyone here in the Zoom. It's other messages here on the YouTube. This is why I don't want to go on the YouTube anymore. I actually just blocked that guy that was trolling earlier, because it's just, I don't understand why people will come to a room, make profit with trading with us, and then still troll. But it's just, some people, that's what they do. Anyways, one question here from AZ. AZ is asking, hey Shawn, do you trade crypto? I don't. I buy and hold Bitcoin every once in a while, but I don't necessarily trade it actively. Billy's asking, do you reply on Instagram? Yeah, I do. Unless Instagram has labeled you as a scam account, then your message is probably in the request, and I don't respond to request messages. So it just depends, Billy. I'm not sure what your name is, Billy Omu. I'm not sure what your account is on Telegram, but you can just message me on Telegram. It's probably an easier way to message me than Instagram, because Instagram is really good with blocking out scam accounts. So I'm not sure if your account might have been flagged as a scam or spam account, because if it was, and you message me, then it's probably in your requests and I haven't gotten it. All right. So yeah, Ye's asking, Ye said to leave the YouTube. They're here to waste your time. No, exactly. I'm probably, well, I already tried to do it before, but a lot of people were like upset about it. So I started going on the YouTube again, but I think probably next week, I'm probably not going to go on the YouTube anymore. I'll just, I'll publish it later so you guys can rewatch the live stream, but I'm not necessarily going to be on the YouTube streaming live as I used to, or how I'm doing right now. So other than that, guys, let me see if there's anything else right here. So Maddie said variation at 743. Oh yeah, so I think that one right there kind of moved, right, Maddie? It was probably at that point, and then it disappeared. But yeah, no, it looks like that would have been a good variation. Yeah, definitely would have been. Jennifer's asking, do you trade outside of your Zoom sessions or most of all your trades taken live? I trade outside of the session too. So I trade here with you guys live in the morning during New York session, but I do trade during Asia session. I'm testing out this new strategy. So I know you're brand new here, Jennifer. This strategy right here, we just kind of put it together. Oh, I've been using this strategy for a couple of years now, but I just put it together where people can understand what I'm looking at. So I've been working on this and I've been trading it during Asia session. This works really good during Asia session. So I do trade this off the live session. And that's why you'll see like other profits here. So if you look at Telegram here, you'll see that like some trades here are taken during, so like these trades right here, there's like a lot of trades that are taken during Asia session. So like maybe half of these trades are taken during Asia session. These are taken on my own, just applying the strategies by myself. And that's pretty much how everyone else does it too. You'll see a lot of other people here post profits like Patricia. She took profits in Asia session over here. And she, everyone just applies the strategies on their own. So I do trade outside of this live session. However, the trades, like the results that are posted. So for example, right here, at the end of the week, we post the results, right? The results that are posted here are only the trades taken during the live session. These aren't taken on my own personal time, like during Asia session. So this is one that that we only post, like these trades are the only ones taken during the live session because these are the live trading results. The other ones here, because you'll see like we only had about, let's see, we had 8 trades. We had 8 trades right here, right? But if you look at my trades here, I had like way more trades than that because I was trading on my own all throughout the session. So I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 15, 20 trades here, right? And I made 9,000 off that. These trades aren't all counted. The only trades that are counted during these results here are the trades that we take during the live session. So even though I post that this is how much was made during the live session, I probably would have made a lot more, or I probably would have made less, depending on like if I'm trading more or less during this period. So that's pretty much how I trade personally. So other than that, let me see if there's any other questions here. I'm still looking for trades, guys. So I'm still looking for trades, but I'm also answering questions while I'm at it. Currently, right now, price is just ranging again for US 30, so there's not much for us to look at. There's probably going to be a sell entry that comes up shortly. And also the fundamentals are very red as well. So if I do get a short, then maybe I'll take it. However, I'm not really sure if I'm going to take that just yet. So for example, here, in order for me to take a short, I would need price to close below here for a high-low entry. I know there's technically an entry writing right now for the pivot scalp strategy right there off the 1 minute, but I'm currently not interested in taking that right now. I'll mark it up right here. Like maybe I could take it for like late entry or something. All right, so looking good right here off this. So I'm not in this trade, guys. I'm gonna look at it. Maybe I'll put a sell stop and maybe enter it as it comes down. But currently right now, price is just going sideways, so I don't necessarily want to really take it. I could assume that some of you guys are probably in this trade right now. So what I'll do is I'll set an alert here to let me know if and when it drops. But just a reminder, I'm not in that position. I don't plan on taking it anytime soon. If I do plan on putting a sell stop right there, I'll let you guys know. And that's the difference too with like the results that get posted, right? I just want to confirm that the trades that get posted with results at the end of the week, those are trades that I actually take. Just because I mark it up on the chart doesn't mean that they're official trades, because the only trades that I'm calling official are the ones that I'm actually taking myself. So this right here is not an official trade. I know there's an entry right there, but the reason why I don't want to take this trade is because my bias is still for a buy right now. And the reason for that is because retail sentiment is still very short. That's why I'm not necessarily looking for any sells right now, because I don't want to get caught in the spike to the upside, which is probably going to happen eventually. So we'll keep watching it here. But like I mentioned, guys, I'm not in the position. If I end up taking it, I'll let you guys know. But currently right now, I'm not in it. I'll keep watching it, but we'll just see what happens from there. Anyway, scrolling over here real quick. Let me see if there's anything else that I am missing. This wouldn't be a variation right here. Maddie, because it doesn't touch the line. This 747 right here doesn't touch it. It's close to it, but it doesn't touch it exactly. All right, let me just scroll up real quick and make sure that I'm not missing anything else here. Yeah, no. Let me just scroll up real quick. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any actual questions. If there's anything here that that's like irrelevant, I'm just gonna skip over some of these things here. But like, other than that, let me just scroll down a little bit. Matthew said, yeah, Shawn, I don't know how you have the patience. No, exactly. I mean, I try to have as much patience as possible, but I mean, sometimes it's just too much, right? It's just too much. And it's hard because like I'm getting distracted and I'm also trying to trade. So like for me, it's like if I wasn't on this live session, I could just focus on my trades and make like a ton of profit. But obviously I want to help you guys out as much as possible. And that's why I come on these live sessions. And I give you guys, X amount of time of my day. Because sometimes I'll get off at 8 o'clock and I'll still be trading because I just want to focus on my own trades. So scrolling down a little bit more, let's see. Professor said, this is what I know. I've passed 2 phase 1 challenges, large part to KT. No, definitely Trey. And I'm glad to see that because you joined us like a week ago and you're killing it like every single day. Eunice is asking if the bias has changed from a buy to a sell. Currently right now, the bias has slightly changed, Eunice, but it's not a heavy bias to the downside yet. Unless this goes down to negative 100 points and the retail sentiment starts to go to the upside where it starts to level out, then the bias will officially change. But currently right now, the bias is still kind of indecisive. Reason for that is because the retail traders are still short. And then on top of that, the fundamentals over here are also not very strong for the downside yet. Our key number there is 100 points. We want it to be negative 100 points and we want it to be stable under 100 points. But if it doesn't, then, price can easily swing back the other way. So as you guys can see right here, this is exactly why I didn't want to take that sell there because price is just going sideways. And the problem with this is that this range, the top of the range is really close to the stop loss right here. So we just don't want to get caught on the wrong side of the market if it ends up spiking up really quickly and then it comes right back down, right? So what I'm looking for here is instead of this specific trader, I'm looking for this to close below here to confirm that it's broken the structure and it's going to continue pushing lower from that point. So I'm currently not looking at this as an entry just yet. But like I mentioned, if I do want to take this as an entry and I put a buy stop or a sell stop there, I will let you guys know. You can see right here, if this touches down and hits TP, that's completely fine. I'll just enter it off the other entry using the other strategy over here. So as you can see, price is now starting to come down, which is completely fine. But it's still bouncing around that area. So let me continue to answer the rest of the questions. Dean said heavy on the chilling today. No, exactly. Yeah, no, let's see. Roman said roast Wednesday. Every Wednesday we choose a K2 member to roast them for profiting with K2. Oh, that's funny. Let me scroll down a little lower. Roman said, at the end of the day, US 30 takes balls to trade because it's volatile. It isn't for everyone. It's risky, blows accounts left to right. If your risk tolerance isn't high, it shouldn't be. No, exactly. US 30 is like one of the riskiest assets to trade because it's so volatile, especially during New York session. And I do all this stuff live, guys. Like there's nothing for me to hide here. I can't like call trades and then take them and then they lose and then I can't like hide it, right? It's on the live session. So you guys know if I take a loss here. That's why like a lot of people like to stay here because they like the transparency of like the trades that I take because I can't hide any of the trades. If I say I'm taking a trade and it loses, I got to count that as a loss. But like a trade like this, I mentioned that it was risky and I didn't take it. So that's why we wouldn't count this as a win or a loss. If it wins or it loses, that's completely fine. Either or can happen, but we're not going to count this as a win or a loss because this is specifically a speculative trade, which is risky. And I've already made that clear to you guys that I'm not in the trade. So if you guys want to take it, take it. If not, then just wait for the next one. So Charlie's asking, do you think it'll go all the way back up? I think eventually, Charlie, but not. It's probably not going to happen like right away, right? So if we go over here to the 10-minute, let's just look at the 10-minute real quick. You can see prices currently down here, right? There's areas of rejection around here. where price can likely bounce off. So what could happen is price might just come down lower and lower and lower and lower, etc. Right? Price can just come down as low as it needs to, but then eventually it'll come back up, right? The problem with current price right now is that it's been at this all-time high for like the past 4 days since Friday, right, or Thursday. It's been propped up so high, so it's going to have to come down, but eventually it'll come back up. Because the thing with US 30 is that US 30 is the directional asset, right? This is an asset that a lot of people have like their 401ks and stuff in. So what happens is if the stocks aren't performing well, they'll just swap them out. These are the top 30 stocks in the US. And if it starts to drop further and further, they'll just swap the stocks out. They'll swap the bad ones for the good ones, and then it'll just continue pushing up higher. So eventually it'll go back up, but currently right now, it has to drop at least a little bit, right? Because you can see right here, if you look back at historical data of US 30, it'll drop, but then eventually it comes back up, right? It'll drop, and then eventually it'll come all the way back up. Because that's just how this asset works. And that's why we like to trade this, because usually it's easy to determine, what direction it'll be moving in. So other than that, let me scroll down real quick, answer the rest of the questions here. All right. Oh, Patricia's asking about the candles. So Patricia, in order to get these numbers on the candles right here, this is the built-in pivots high-low indicator for TradingView. So if you go to indicators over here and just type in, you go to built-in scripts, it's called the pivots high-low indicator over here. So pivots, pivot points high-low. If you click on this right here, it'll give you these numbers right here. It's a built-in indicator for TradingView. So it's not a custom one. It's one that is built in. So there goes a full TP right there off that 1 minute scalp. Obviously, like I mentioned, guys, I'm not going to count that as a win because I didn't take the trade. If I take the trade, I'll count it as a win. But if I don't, it's just going to be one of the trades that we covered during this live session, which was exactly what we did there. So yeah, whoever caught the trade, congrats to you. I didn't take the trade, so I'm not going to count that. So let's go over here real quick. I'll go over the strategies real quick, over the profits, just to show you guys what everyone locked in. So scrolling down over here, looks like I missed a couple of these. Patricia locked in a total of 2,446. Nice work, Patricia. Rick over here locked in a total of 2,624. Nice work, Rick. Scrolling down lower. Oh man, what happened to Lisa's thing? Lisa's laptop just died on her. Horrible. Her phone broke, and then now her laptop broke. It's unfortunate. Rick's now done. He's up 3,302. Nice work, Rick. Rick again over here. He's in profit 4,693. Rick keeps saying that he's going to stop, but he doesn't stop. And Narith over here, he's currently up some heavy profits. He's trading stocks and US 30. So for the stocks here at Google, he made about 12,000. Tesla 5,000. US 30 3,000. Looks like he took the 2 buys that we took earlier, and then also Tesla again right here for another 3,000. So nice work, Narith. Other than that, Maddie over here locked in a total of 4,563. Nice work, Maddie. And then his other account here, he took another one, locked in a total of 4,703. Nice work, Maddie. Yeah, so Maddie's been applying the new strategy. It's been working perfectly fine for him. I'm going to go and I'll read your message later, Professor. I don't want to necessarily look at any of these private. I'll look at you guys' private messages a little later. Deswell over here as well. So Deswell took the buy earlier for the 3 minute. He locked in a total of 2,635. If you guys send me personal messages through Telegram, I'll look at them after the live session. Other than that, Hugo over here as well. So Hugo just locked in. He said he got out at the top, locked in a total of 5,048. Nice work, Hugo. And I think that's it for the profits right now. So if you guys have more profits to send them over, and then I'll add them to the list of profits to be posted at the end of the session. So let me just scroll down a little bit and see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Okay. Randy said, you know how successful you are by the number of haters you attract. No, I agree. Let me scroll down a little bit. So Jay's asking if I picked a day for the mentorship. So guys, if you guys want, I think it's going to be today, Jay. So if you guys want to have a mentoring session, I think later today, we can do that. So I'll post up a poll in the group later today, and I'll see if people can make it. If not, we'll try to shoot for, well, I think today would probably be the best day just to get the questions out of the way, because I know we had a lot of distractions during the live session. So what I'll do today is we'll probably have the mentoring session. Hopefully you can make it today, Jay. If you can't make it, let me know, and maybe we can just schedule it for next week, because I don't think tomorrow or Friday is going to work for me. So Jay, send me a message on Telegram. If today doesn't work for you, let me know. But if it can, we can do the mentoring session today at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So I'm just going to take a break after my trading after the day, after the New York session is ended, and then I'll come back for a mentoring session where I can answer pretty much all your guys' questions during that session. So Jay, if that works for you, let me know. I'm not sure if you're still here in the room, but if you can make it, just let me know, and then we'll set that up. Otherwise, I'll set a poll up and see if people can make it. If there's not enough people, then we'll just hold it for another day. Sorry, I was trying to follow up with you, but I totally forgot yesterday and the day before that. Let me scroll down a little bit. Jennifer's asking, New York and Asia are your best. The strategies work all day, Jennifer. All the strategies are based off momentum and they're based off the trend. So if there's momentum in the market, if the market's trending, then the strategies work perfectly fine. New York and Asia are specific for specific strategies. It's actually not, the strategies aren't that good during Asia because it's a slow session. It's only good for this new strategy that we've been working on. This is the only one I've been applying during Asia session. So what I recommend, Jennifer, is go through the strategies and actually learn everything first and see like what you like. And then once you figure out which one that you like, then we can talk about what works best for that strategy. Because there's a bunch of strategies in the course. I'm sure you haven't gone through any of them yet. So my recommendation is go through the actual course, look through the strategies, see which one you like. Once you find one that you actually like, then let me know. And then I can give you, tips on like when to trade it, what sessions work best, what times to trade it, stuff like that. But for the most part, all the strategies pretty much work well all day long because they're all based off momentum. So as long as the market's moving, like for example here, right here, there's not very much movement. So the strategies don't work, as well as it would be if price was moving directional. So if it's moving directional here, it moves perfectly fine. If it's moving sideways, it's not going to work very well because there's not very much momentum in the market. But all the strategies are momentum based. So as long as there's volatility in the market, that's the best time to apply it. So it'd probably be London, New York would be best time, but Asia's for this specific strategy right here because that's what we were talking about earlier. But you're not going to learn this because this isn't even taught yet. This is still an unfinished strategy that we're currently working on. All right, so let me scroll down a little more and see what else I am missing here. I just saw your message, Miles. Donnie said a question came to mind. Pivot strategy can be a valid momentum candle, have to be below the pivots and bullish. Sorry, that is confusing, Donnie. Let me read your question again. So I'm going to try to read your question out loud. Maybe it'll make sense to me. Donnie said, a question just came to mind, a buy scalp, for example. For the pivot strategy, can the valid momentum candle have to be below the pivots? It has to be above it, Donnie. That's like one of the main requirements here. If you're taking a buy, it has to be above the pivots. If you're taking a sell, it has to be below. So it can't be below for a buy because it needs to be above. That's like one of the main requirements here. So hopefully that answered your question. Your question is like, I know you even like thought it was confusing yourself. You said, sorry if this is confusing. I'm asking based on the trade you took earlier this session. That trade wasn't off this strategy right here, Donnie. That trade was off this strategy right here. So I think that's where you might have been confused because that strategy wasn't specifically for this one right here. We're using this. That's why if you look at the screenshot here, that specific entry, that's why this one is the only one that's been shown right there because that's the strategy that we use for that specific entry. So I think that's where your confusion is. This is the new strategy, but this strategy hasn't been taught yet. This is just one that we're forward testing on the live session so that we can forward test it to make sure that it works properly. But it's been working pretty good for the most part. So let me just scroll down a little bit, see what else I'm missing. Main said, hey, Shawn, I hope those trolls aren't going to delay the release of the high-low indicator. Yeah, so I was planning on releasing the strategy this week, but there still needs to be testing done on it. So what I'm going to do is I'll release the indicator, and if you guys want to play around with it, you guys can. But for the specific strategy, we're probably not going to go over that until next week. So that's why I was going to hold off the the mentoring session until next week. But if you still want it today, we can do it today, Jay. But if not, we'll schedule it for next week. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else right here. Henry's question is on the last short because it was under the indicators and the wick on top validated the short. No, Henry. So that was just using the pivot scalp strategy. There's no wick requirement for that specific strategy. So guys, another thing that I want to confirm with you guys is that you guys aren't getting confused with the strategies, right? Because I feel like a lot of people get confused with the strategies here. This specific entry here was using the pivot scalp strategy. So if I just, let me just go back over here and I'll rewind. So looking at this specific strategy right here, there's no requirement for any wick, right? I don't know if you might be mixing it up with like a different strategy, Henry, but for this, you're just looking for a valid K2 momentum signal, right? Here we have a valid sell signal, right? Next, you want to confirm prices below the K2 pivots for a sell. So right here, prices below the pivot, so it's a valid sell. Next, you enter on the open of the following candle. And your TP stop loss is going to be 300 to 100. So, you know, with that said, this is pretty much all you're looking for. There's nothing else that you're looking for here. And if you let it run, obviously right there, it hits TP. In strategy as well to avoid trades. I feel like there's like always different inconsistencies that I can add into it. I just don't want to make the strategy too complicated for everybody. So yeah, Henry, you know, short answer to your question, this is the only things that you're looking for. You don't look for any wick and you don't look for it for anything else. You're basically just looking to make sure that all these line up here before you take that entry. So let me close this real quick and let me see if I get any more of these questions here. Okay, cool. So Jay said it works. So guys, we'll have the mentoring session today at 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific. So I'll put an alert in the, or I'll give an update in the group. I'll give notice that we're going to have that mentoring session, but we'll have it today at 4 o'clock. So what I'm going to do today is I'm probably going to get off this live session soon. And then if you guys have more questions, we'll answer those questions more in detail during the mentoring session later. And you know what? Maybe I'll give you guys indicators by then. Who knows? We'll see. If I have time to update it, then I'll do it. If not, then you guys will get the indicators at some point this week. Definitely, no problem, Henry. Yes, yeah. The session will be recorded, so it'll be recorded on there. Trey said, or Professor said, "Gotta run. Appreciate the amazing gift you share with us to help us become profitable traders." Definitely, Professor. And I'll see you later for the mentoring session. Yeah, no, it's going to be like opposite time for you over there. Yeah. So yeah, no problem. Definitely, definitely, Patricia. So I'm going to answer the rest of the questions here on the YouTube, guys. I'll answer a couple more questions here. I know that like a lot of people here in the Zoom want me to stop streaming on the YouTube, but you know, I'm here to help you guys out. So let's see. Michael said, really helpful information. Please don't let negative folks influence the difference you're making for a lot of other people. No, definitely, Michael. I'm here to help you guys out as much as possible, right? Trader Lounge says, stay on YouTube, man. You're really helpful. No, definitely. I'm here to help everybody out. It's just, you know, it just kind of adds up sometimes when like certain people are trolling in the chat. A Billionaire Mindset's asking, what's your thoughts on the 4-hour candle? So which 4-hour candle are you referring to? Sorry, I see your message came here probably a while back, but I'm not sure which one you're referring to. Are you talking about US 30? I'm assuming you're talking about US 30 because there's no other pair that we're looking at. So looking at the 4-hour candle right here, I mean, I don't really have anything to really say about it right now. There's about 2 hours and 50 minutes left on it. I think if price comes down and rejects off the pivot, then it'll probably bounce, you know, to some extent. But yeah, I don't really look at US 30 on the 4-hour because the thing with US 30 is that it's such a volatile asset that I traded on the shorter time frames. It hasn't touched the pivot yet, but if you go back and just look at previous data, whenever it touches a pivot, it usually bounces a little bit. So it touches the pivot, bounces back up, touches the pivot, bounces back up, you know, et cetera. If it doesn't touch the pivot, like looking, for example, right here, see this red candle, it doesn't touch the pivot. It'll just continue going sideways before coming down. So, you know, generally what I do is I look over and I try to see how price has been moving in the past. Like what happens when price touches a certain pivot. Like for example here, this red candle right here touches the pivot and then it drops, right? And it drops pretty heavily. So, I mean, I don't really have anything to look at here for the 4-hour. I mean, obviously I'm looking for it to possibly reject off something. If it doesn't reject off it, it'll probably keep dropping lower until it does reject off something. Or if it doesn't reject off, it just keeps dropping even further. But I don't really see a big drop happening anytime soon. At least not until the earnings are done with this week. So I think this week price is still going to be kind of choppy, bouncing back and forth because it's still Wednesday, right? We still have 2 more days of earnings to be released. So we still got a lot of stuff coming on over here. So let me just go over here real quick. I'm just going to see if there's any other stocks here. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at. There's a lot of messages here. I'm trying to go back to the earnings thing. Okay, so today's Wednesday. These are the earnings today. We have a couple more here. So we got Amazon, Apple. Apple is going to be part of US 30. I don't know if Caterpillar is, but they might be. But we do have a lot of earnings still coming out. So we have a couple big ones. We have one is Apple. That's going to be one of the big ones in US 30. Then we have Chevron on Friday. So if those are good, then it's probably going to spike price up even higher. So I don't really have anything off 4-hour right now, but eventually it's probably going to come up to some extent. One more question from Journey. Journey's asking, can you kindly break down the steps you take analysis of your high-low scalp strategy? So that's the last question for today, guys. And then after that, I'll be on for the live session later today because I'm like way past my time for this live session. So going back over here, basically what we're looking for at this point is we're looking to confirm the previous swing highs and swing lows. So I have this indicator over here, which is a K2 swing high, swing low indicator. Basically what I'll do is I'll identify the previous high and the previous low. Once we have that identified right there, you want to confirm that price breaks and closes past the swing. So price, in order for me to take a buy right here, I need price to go 4 candles to the left as the right first. So it established the high here. We need 1, 2, 3, 4 candles right here. Once that happens, I need price to push up and break and close above here. Once price breaks and closes above here, then I'll be confirming that I'm trading in the direction of momentum. Right here, we have a buy signal, so momentum's to the upside. Lastly, you want to make sure that price is not ranging or consolidating. Right now, currently price is ranging, but if price breaks above here, it's not going to be ranging anymore, right? Because price is going to break above the high. Lastly, you just want to confirm that price doesn't touch this high before it breaks and closes past it. If it breaks and closes past it, that's fine. But if it touches it like it did right here, you can see we established the low, but price came down and touched it, so it's no longer valid anymore. This right here hasn't been touched, so it's not valid. It's still valid. We just need price to break and close above it after 4 candles, and once that happens, we can take it for a long position, and then we ride it to the upside. And this is probably gonna be a smaller target, like about 100 pips, because this is a 1-minute chart, so it moves a lot quicker. If you're doing this on a higher time frame, then obviously you can go for a bigger move. But for the 1 minute, this is basically what we're looking for. So other than that, guys, this isn't the official strategy yet. It's still a work in progress. So don't base everything off this strategy. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. So that's it for this session. I'll be back online in the next couple hours for the group mentoring session. So if you guys do have questions, save your questions for that session. Otherwise, guys, if you guys want to trade for this morning, I would recommend that you guys be careful because obviously you can see from the market currently, there really isn't a direction that's been set, right? Price is kind of just going back and forth. Retail sentiment is currently at 70% short now, so it can easily be shifting to the downside if this starts to flatten out and becomes even around the 60s. So if that becomes the case, then, we can start looking for some sells. But currently at this moment, we're still kind of just indecisive as with regard to what trades we decide to take and what direction we decide to trade at. So other than that, guys, have a great rest of your morning, and I'll catch you guys back here in a few hours. And I'll give you guys an update in the group for when that session is going.